Hello everyone, welcome to the Total Discography Podcast. My name is Ethan Amory.
I'm Adam Rabb.
How you doing today, Adam?
Doing pretty good, man. Sun is shining, birds are chirping.
We haven't really talked, there's been no lead up to this.
Yeah,
I just got here.
I just got here and we're shooting from the hip.
And here we go. So I don't even know.
Han Solo.
Everyone alive
E.T. Han.
in the fam. Any bad news?
I mean, not really.
That's good.
I got tonight off, which is random.
Oh yeah?
It's nice.
Look
I
at
can
that.
pump out some vlogs.
Pump out some vlogs, dude. What are we drinking?
We got a little Columbia from Walkie Talkie Coffee. You guys have probably seen, if you've seen the podcasters in the kitchen making coffee, you've seen their cups. And it is from Heart Roasters in Portland, Oregon. It has notes of
I've
cocoa.
had Heart before. That's good. That's good stuff.
It's got notes of cocoa, kiwi, and green apple. And it's called Columbia El Hato.
Man, you came way more prepared to tell me what we were drinking than I thought.
There we go. I took a picture of it and I was like,
all right.
I was like, Ethan's going to want to know this information.
Well, it's good. Thanks for bringing the coffee. Today is our 4th episode.
It's great.
Diving into Weezer's discography. What album are we covering today?
Maladroit.
Maladroit.
It sounds like a town in Michigan.
Yeah, did you know what it means?
Next to Detroit.
Do you know what Maladroit means?
Yeah, it means ineffective or bungling.
AKA clumsy. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I
looked it up on the way here.
My only reference to Maladroit was the Weezer album.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I thought it was a made-up word.
That's kind of. I mean, I never even thought about it. I think that's kind of fitting for a Weezer album title.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go ahead and get started here with some memories. I'm gonna leave it exactly like that.
There we go. Yeah.
Let's talk about Maladroits.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Go ahead, man.
Alright, so Maladroit was released on May 14th, 2002 by Geffen Records.
What were you up to in 2002?
2002, what was I doing?
I'm pretty sure I was in 7th grade.
I was 12, middle school, just being a weird kid.
Yeah, man.
I think I had some big, Shaun White kind of hair, when he was first getting big into the snowboard world. I grew my hair real big.
I'm glad that you had such a journey with your hair before now you're just...
Yeah. I had, the scene kid hair where you'd straighten it and get a little, fringe. I had long Shaun White, real big hair. I used to wear headbands, like Adidas sweatbands. I had, I grew out dreadlocks, and then now I just have my beard. That's all I'm rocking with. And my hat.
You did so much to your hair that
it's gone.
Just went away. So it came out in 2002, self-produced.
Self-produced like Pinkerton.
Introduction to the new bass player,
Scott Schreiner.
Weezer
didn't start until Scott Schreiner got there.
Dude, that SNL sketch has forever changed Weezer fan lore.
It's great.
Scott Schreiner is a very interesting dude. If you just look at him, he looks like the guy that you don't want your mom to date.
Yeah.
He's hey, I'm your dad now. That's just what he looks like. Anyone listening, Google a picture of Scott. No offense to Scott Schreiner. I think he's great. Yeah. But if you just look at him, just at him, that's just what he looks like.
He's always wearing the hide shades from That 70s Show.
Yeah, exactly. He's just he walks in the house and grabs some leftovers, whatever's available. Yeah. It's hey, I'm your dad now.
He's like that guy at the family reunions where he's always being talked about. They're we just gotta do something. We gotta help him out.
Yeah, and I don't really know anything about him other than what he looks like and his bass playing, which I'll get into a little bit later.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as we said, Maladroit came out in 2002. It's self-produced.
Yeah.
They had not done that for Green because they were basically not allowed to. So apparently they got some more leeway.
They got some leeway. They were got a bigger leash.
Got a bigger leash.
From the record.
They got one of those ones where it extends.
Yeah, you can.
And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I always thought those were really cool because you give the dog the sense of freedom.
And then
they're oh wow, I could go all over the world. That yard 3 yards over I've been eyeing out for a while. That's mine. Oh.
They're nope. Not today.
At least it's not a shock collar. I feel
I don't like the use of shock collars.
Do people still use those?
I don't know. Actually, we were given one when we got our dog, and we were we don't want to use this.
I guess some people do use them then.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Seems like a weird 2019 thing to do.
Yep.
what was your introduction to Maladroit?
This podcast. No, I knew Keep Fishing because of the Muppets video, and there's a couple that I was like, oh yeah, I've heard this before, but it's one of those Weezer albums where I never delve into, and I like this album.
I think that as I mentioned, I think Maladroit and Blue were kind of a co-introduction. So I guess I got introduced to Weezer in 2002-ish. I'm trying to remember the math. I was in
you
sixth
said you
grade.
you found him at a library or something?
I might have been in 6th grade. Yeah, I found Maladroit at the library. So I discovered Blue, and I got Blue and Maladroit and Jimmy Eat World and Green Day all at the same time. I had it was Green Day was Dookie, and I also got International Super Hits, which was my defining Green Day album.
Nice.
And then Jimmy Eat World Futures and Bleed American, and then Maladroit. So anyway, I remember Maladroit I just really liked. I remember it, but I would have certain songs on here, and it was so funny listening back because I hadn't listened to it in a while, and I was like, oh man, Slave. I used to love that song. And Slob. For some reason I really like Slob. And then, obviously I love Keep Fishing. But anyway, so I loved Maladroit. Maladroit is essential to my baseline Weezer DNA. So listening to this album has been really fun. But we're going to go through the album. We're going to go back to the Shack, track by track. Starting with American Gigolo.
Gigolo. Giggity. I always think of it, Rivers Cuomo, American Gigolo. That could be a movie starring Rob Schneider.
I feel like it will. What?
Have you seen Deuce Bigalow? Yeah.
So
weird movie.
American Gigolo kind of kicks things off. It's a bombastic starting to an album. It's nonsense. It's just in your face.
Just so crazy. And I like how they have the line they're opening up the show. It kicks the album.
Yeah.
It kicks the album off.
It's just I feel like it's how when you're watching a movie, some people don't like it when all the credits are at the beginning. Yeah. But I kind of do because it
especially if they're kind of cool and dynamic.
Yeah, it gets me in the mood. I'm all right, I need to be. It's almost like
it reminds me of the start of one of those early 2000 teen comedies where it's they have that high zoom in on the school and this song is playing and they're flashing the director and stuff.
I feel like this song that feels like that to me. I feel like it's just setting me up to listen for an experience in a better way than Green. Green, and I like the first song on Green. Ooh, oh, oh. But this one just it's more oh, this is going to be different than the Green album.
You're oh, they're back in the
back in the shack.
They're not in the passenger seat anymore.
No, they're all right. So Weezer is back. I like this song a lot. I think it's a strong.
And I think it's that. I wrote that line. If you hate this, I won't blame you. I think it's kind of interesting. It's you know what, fans? If you hate this, I don't blame you. But this is what we wanted to do.
I will blame you because I think this song is dope.
Yeah.
Dope Nose. Speaking of Dope Nose.
Hey-o.
Didn't say noise this time.
Yeah, that's good.
Dope Nose is the second song. We talked about this before because he wrote it apparently at the same time as Hash Pipe.
Yeah, he was on that Ritalin and 3 shots tequila.
Which makes sense. This is a weird song.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff in there, some weird lines that I don't even feel comfortable saying.
It's kind of like when I was listening to this song, I was thinking about what Steve Carell said about rebooting The Office and how he was
you just can't go back to the Shack. The Shack is problematic.
Yeah. It is. I think about the time where Oscar and Michael have that situation.
Yeah. What's funny is I think that works now that we're talking about The Office.
Yeah.
That scene, there's a scene in The Office, if you haven't seen it, where one of the characters comes out and Michael basically makes him come out. He tells everyone, and then in order to apologize, kisses him in front of everyone in the office. It's one of the most uncomfortable things.
It is really uncomfortable. But it's almost as uncomfortable as Scott Todd's, but nothing can happen there.
But the thing about it is, I don't think that anyone would write that scene now. But I don't think that scene in and of itself is offensive.
Yeah.
But it's you know what I mean. It's hard to explain. I think this line in this song that you wrote. What was the line?
I think it was. What does it say?
It says the line is "fag of the year," and I will say this about that word. when I was in middle school, like that was just a thing that people said a lot. Like it wasn't, and I'm not. It just goes to show the changing of even in our lives. I mean, middle school in our lives is a long time ago. For a lot of people, 15 years ago, that was just a thing that middle schoolers said without even thinking about it. And then eventually it became
like you can't.
But at the time this came out, it was a pretty normal thing.
Yeah.
And so now you just look back like, oh.
You're like,
and I don't think he would probably say that. I don't know if they sing it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was thinking about what's that song by Paramore that Hayley Williams she changes
Misery Business.
Yeah, she changes part of it.
They also just said they're not going to play it anymore.
I don't know if Weezer's got that same.
Well, that's just an interesting thing. Well, the difference between Weezer and Paramore is she wrote that song when she was like 17. Like he basically watched Hayley Williams grow up in front of us, and her albums are like her journal entries. Like imagine finding some 15-year-old girl's journal and being like, what the hell is that? Like, why would you write that? You like judging them based off that. That's basically what people have done with her with that song.
So I went to your room and
read your diary.
All right.
But it is problematic lyrics, but some tasty guitar.
Tasty guitar.
Ooh, I really like this. I mean, it's a fun song. Yeah. Like I think I think this whole album is good. I really do. There's a couple like iffy tracks, but the first 3 are just like boom, boom, boom.
It's definitely more dynamic of an album than Green Album. Like Green Album is just like more of the same.
It's like white noise.
Yeah.
Like sometimes at night, I'll like have my handy dandy Alexa. I don't want to say it too loud because she'll hear me and then she'll start talking. But I'll be like, hey,
yes, Ethan.
So and so, play box fan sounds. And she will. And I feel like if I did that if I was like, hey, play Green Album by Weezer, it would have the same effect. Whereas this one, I'd probably be less distracted.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah.
The third track is Keep Fishin', which man,
Keep Fishin'.
What a jam. This was the second single off the album. The first one was Dope Nose. Should have said that probably.
So in this song, Rivers is yet again in love with a girl, but this girl has options.
Yeah.
So he's kind of, it's kind of like he's like, I don't want you to leave, but if there's other things out there, he's like, just keep fishing, girl.
I think the line that gets me the most is, it breaks my heart to see you hanging from your shelf. It's like she's just putting herself on display and everyone's, judging and deciding, and he's like, I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm right here, girl. I'm Rivers.
I'm ready for you.
I'm ready. I'm in love with you. This song is definitely...
Grab your canoe.
This one made me feel really nostalgic because I just used to listen to this one all the time. Like, this is all the time. Did you hear the way I just said time? I used to listen to this song all the time. And I was just like, so good. I was like, I related. Because I don't know why I felt this way, but I feel like when I was in middle school, I was always like, I was a very existential kid. Yeah. I was just always thinking about, like, oh, I'm never going to be in love. You're
like, who's this?
Little I know is true. Yeah. I'm still 28 and single. But at the time, it was ridiculous. Like, calm down, bro. You're in middle school. Yeah, Stop relating with Weezer songs. You'll be fine. Weezer and Reliant.
That's so funny. Like, everybody that's like our age, like 28, 29, they're like, they grew up with Weezer, and like, a lot of people grew up with Weezer in like their middle school, or they got it from like their older brother or something like that. And even though you're in middle school, you can relate to a lot of these songs, even though you have no clue what any of these relationships are like.
I know, man. It's almost like you want to take control of your life.
Ooh, let's take control.
This is another like, this is more of like a relationship song that he's trying to get out of. Kind of like, what's the one? Falling for You.
Yeah.
It's like
very like angsty.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even like this relationship. This relationship sucks.
But like, he's just like, we're gonna make it as metal as possible.
I feel like, here, let me play this beginning of this because I wanted to show you like how I think this song should start. Talk about it.
Yeah. So take control.
All right, I got it.
Some 80s hair metal.
Doesn't you feel like that's how, like, I was like, man, that's so dope. But like, I just love, like, so here's the thing, like, on the surface, like, if someone listens to that song, they're probably like, whatever, but it's so Weezer. It's like, I feel like this is the album where, like, so Green was like the direct reaction to Pinkerton, and this album, we're like, you know what, we're just gonna do what we want, self-produce, have fun, not get as crazy as, it's almost like the carefreeness of Pinkerton, but with the more like structured rock songs of Blue.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is that I think they were like, all right, so you guys don't like it when we're totally like putting ourselves out there. You don't like it when we're super squeaky clean. And so they built like message boards, and like they had like demos of their songs while they were recording them, and they were getting feedback from their fans. Like they had like
which was a very like ahead of their time thing to do.
Dude,
2002.
They know the internet.
My goodness, like bands now are starting to like listen to this innovative idea I'm having. We're just gonna give it to the fan. Dude, 2002. That was 17 years ago. That they were doing that.
Dude, it's like I was thinking about Weezer, like about how they
just as one does.
I was just thinking about
Weezer.
And like the internet like started, you know, taking control around around the time that they were starting, you know, 95, and I think they were on like Windows 95, like a CD, like one of their music videos. I think I read that somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere on the internet.
Maybe I just made it up.
Like, this will sound good.
But
no, man, it was just a very ahead of their time thing to do. It's also interesting. Did I ever tell the story about the middle on here? Long story short, Jimmy Eat World's song "The Middle," like they had this like email thing on their website, and remember this song came out in 2001, so it would have been like in the late 90s, early 2000s that they had this thing set up where fans could email them, and it was such an unused thing they probably saw every single one because that wasn't normal. Like you couldn't tweet them. So this one girl wrote that she wanted to fit in with the emo like pop punk kids, but she couldn't, and they wouldn't accept her. So they wrote "The Middle," and it became "The Middle." You know, it's one of the most famous like songs from that genre ever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, like so Jimmy Eat World and Weezer here were like early adapters of the internet.
Yeah. And they kind of like followed along. Like it wasn't, you know, a lot of people they'll get stuck in like oh, MySpace, I'm just gonna...
Dude, that's the thing about Weezer that I love, is Weezer could very easily just be a legacy act and tour the world for the rest of their careers playing Blue and Pinkerton, not make new music, just live it. But they continually to just make new music all the time, and people like...
And they know where the attention is, so like Rivers, like he tweets like a million, like so much a day, like of just people that
because
things that people
feeding
tweet
into the meme that is himself.
He's got an Instagram account,
but that's another conversation.
Yeah,
Death and Destruction.
Oh man, this is like one of the first times I heard this song, and I love this song. Like this is probably one of my top songs of this album.
I love that little noodling guitar. I just feel like they're just leaning into the jam. You can quote me on that. Weezer.
Leaning into the jam.
Leaning into the jam.
That should be a shirt that we make. We'll make some merch.
There's so many shirts.
Leaning into the jam.
Leaning into the jams.
It would spell it JAMB.
I feel like there's this local bar called George's, and on Tuesday nights they have live music, and I feel like if someone's like, hey, you want to go to George's and just hear some live music and eat some burgers, like I feel like the band playing would be playing
like very like mellow, like
they're just like they'll like ease into those choruses, and then or in the verses and the chorus just like
and you're like, whoa.
Something that's really prevalent on every guitar album or every Weezer album is they love those guitars, the licks, the noodles, the solos,
the little like. And this, I feel like this album they were so much more creative with their guitar solos, because like in Green Album there's so many guitar solos
basically,
but it just follows the melody. It follows like the hook maybe. There's nothing creative about it. But this like, oh man, the guitar solo in this one, like when it pops in there, you're like,
Yeah, man. It's
great.
One thing I've noticed, okay, so this is my thing about Scott Schreiner. Throughout this out, like I noticed this really a lot. They recently did a Tiny Desk. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
And it was really cool, but Scott Schreiner, your stepdad of a bass player, he overplays, man. Like I think he's a good bass player, but I don't know if he knows what to subdue himself. Like he was at this Tiny Desk, and it's like nothing going on, and he's just over like do 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 hey everybody, I'm playing the and I'm like, dude,
like
we would be fine if you were just playing whole notes right now.
Yeah, like everybody else is so subdued.
Yeah,
Patrick's
and you can tell also in my head, yeah, like they all have just accepted, like, you know what?
He'll do his own thing.
We'll just let him.
We can't control him.
You know, just like Rivers like plays into his thing, Scott Schreiner plays in his. And I feel like I'm making fun of Scott Schreiner a lot. Scott, I know you're listening. I love you.
Yeah, we know you guys are listening to this.
But like, it's just funny. Like I remember go watch the Tiny Desk and just watch him just go nuts on that bass, and then just watch everyone else. It's almost like they're just like, all right. He's doing it. But if you listen to this album, that's when you really start hearing these bass lines. And some of them are really cool, but he just doesn't hold back.
Yeah,
he just lets it go. Which, you know what? I'm sure a lot of people listen.
And it's part of the great debate of Weezer. You know,
well, a lot of people are like mad at me right now because like, some people are like, oh, he doesn't even overplay at all. He underplays. He underplays Ethan. And then other people are like, yeah. But then other people are like, no, that's amazing. Like maybe you're just a crappy bass player. I don't know. I'm just saying from my perspective, he seems like the guy you don't want your mom to date that comes in, takes your leftovers, and plays the bass too much. Yeah. It's almost like you have a bass, and he's like, oh, I play bass, and he's like, I used to be in a band. I'm in a band. Have you ever heard of Weezer? Imagine like listening to like "Time of Your Life" by Green Day, and like it's like the encore because their big song, and Billy Joe comes out, and it's just like a acoustic guitar, and then Mike Dirnt's just like, like you know, like just that's what that Tiny Desk thing
hold back a little bit.
Felt like to me. But anyway,
man, at the end,
got to get that out.
At the end, I love that. I didn't know they were spelling "I love you" at the end of.
What did you? I didn't know what you're doing. You're just like, I like at the end.
They're
right
like, there. It's the end of the song.
It's like, yeah, that's a nice ending. I never realized that either. They're spelling out "I love you."
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is sweet. It was actually supposed to be I think it was supposed to be a instrumental track, which Weezer, they don't have any.
Only one. Yeah, didn't he
don't
like
have a lot of instrumental tracks.
There's one of these songs that's supposed to be instrumental no, that was a Burnt Jam, where he would like, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But Slob, what did you...
Slob.
We write notes for every song, and I did the notes second this time, so I was like reading all his first. Normally it's the other way around. So he's got all these comments about each one, and then I get to Slob, and it just says "Slob on my knob."
It just reminded me of that song.
So I'm like, all right, this is what Adam thinks is Slob.
It's like a rap song.
It's like the other stuff is like, here's what the lyrics mean.
I kind of like I was jumping around when I wrote this.
And it's like "Slob on my." Oh, this seems efficient. So anyway, this song for some reason was one of the most. I used to listen to this one a lot. Like if I was just going to throw a Weezer song on. But for years, years and years, it wasn't until somewhat recently I did not realize that the verses were like I always thought this whole song was from one person's perspective to another person. I never realized that that he was the slob.
Yeah.
Basically, I always thought he was accusing someone else, like, leave me alone, you freaking slob. But in reality, it was someone, like, he's telling someone to leave him alone because they're calling him, telling him he's a slob.
Like, get a real job, man.
Yeah, which I did not realize. Like, I was like, oh, man. And
what, are you going to do this till you're like 50?
It's one of those things where the whole...
50. He's around 50.
Yeah. But, like, it's just like this song, like, leave me alone, I want to, like, stay up late, watch Netflix. I mean, he wasn't watching Netflix. I mean, who knows? He's an early adapter of the internet.
We'll see what he...
But anyway, I just think it's like this weird, like it's definitely like an outlier musically on the album. Like it's a big rock album, but this one's more of like the like.
I don't know.
We should do a whole podcast of Adam just recreating this album with his voice. Like oh yeah, you know Slop? Oh yeah. That is definitely Slop. Here, let's play Slop for a second here. So it's got that nice guitar tone, you know. It's like this minor, you know. It's just like you're just like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like this undertone, and the whole thing is like a build-up that never really gets anywhere. Yeah. It's almost like. Next song.
Space Rock.
Did I skip Space Rock? No, you skipped.
Wait. Burnt Jam. Spelled. They really wanted to put as many consonants.
Yeah.
As they could into these two words. Burt Jam. Interesting guitar. It's about a girl.
This is Adam just reading his bullet points notes. Guess we're not going to nuance this. He's just interesting guitar, comma, talking about a girl he wants to experience lost love with for just a moment. Originally, Rivers sang this song about potato chips for the song. Interesting phrasing there, buddy, bro.
For the song.
Oh wow, Adam.
Just making
you are fired.
Checking things up.
Adam, just kick the desk or coffee whenever you're ready.
Oh man.
Dude, this coffee's really good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Walkie Talkie. If you're ever in Canton, Ohio, it's on 15th Street.
Yeah.
Really good. 15th Street and Woodland.
My bus stop was across the street. I wish they were, there when I was.
That'd been great. Little morning coffee before the bus.
Anyways.
When you were in middle school listening to Weezer, just sipping on a Colombian from Heart Roasters in Portland.
Yeah, I'd be like, you guys don't even know good music or good coffee. Burt Jam.
Dude, I like this. Like, so first of all, the first line, he goes, this song is almost reminiscent of like Island in the Sun with that the guitar and it's just like the vibey.
Get a little bit going.
But anyway,
it's like a really weird guitar, but it works. That's when you're doing that.
I feel like this would go very, very nicely in the set list with Island of the Sun.
This reminds me almost like I've been watching some Flight of the Conchords lately, and it reminds me of one of their songs that they did.
Yeah, I can see that.
Live.
So for years, the first line of this is Gothic flavor, and basically this whole song is about how he's reminiscing about this girl that he used to be with. But I thought for years that it was Catholic flavor.
Catholic flavor.
And not that Catholic flavor.
Like you're tasting the Eucharist.
Yeah, it's he's like, man, I just miss those Catholic girls. It's like they're religious,
they're 18,
but they don't take it too seriously. It's like, why don't we just do a little something you can repent later.
You
Catholic
are
flavor,
18 Catholic girl.
Who goes to the temple on 3rd and 4th Street. No, but I used to think it was that. Wow. And I love the juxtapose of these vibey guitars in the in the verses.
What is Coney?
It's obviously a misprint.
Corny?
Not a misprint. It's supposed to be vibey.
Oh, vibey. That was way off. Yeah. Coney.
Coney
guitars.
Yeah, I love those Coney guitars. You never know, man.
Coney sauce on there. It's like delicious hot dog.
Man. But and then the choruses are a lot harder. It's like a juxtapose of light and flavorful, and then you just get that.
It's kind of like the Death and Destruction.
It's like popcorn with bacon.
Ooh, what? Interesting. It's like Jose's popcorn.
With bacon, though. The chorus is the bacon. It's like, a little light, little snack in the verses. And then bacon! I don't know. It's a terrible thing. Space rock.
It's terrible. Space rock. Talking about Rivers' complicated relationship with fans. I feel like Rivers' relationship with the fans is an overarching theme in the Weezer discography, for sure. And it's interesting how I've been kind of figuring out how each album he relates to the fans differently. Like with this one, he's very open with the fans. He's like, I'm gonna try to.
What is he saying?
But he's also
with this song to the fans. It's just a weird relationship.
Yeah, just I don't know.
Read that interview.
Yeah, so he had an interview with Guitar World. I guess that's a magazine. I don't know. So I'll read the part of
I'll read the fart.
I'll read the part of Rivers Cuomo, and you read Guitar World, and we'll go back and forth.
Sounds like you get the way more fun.
All right, you can do yours.
No, you can do it.
All right.
You just cast yourself as Rivers, just
I'll just be Rivers.
Hey man.
I'll be Rivers.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I never meet fans.
You never meet them?
Never. I like talking to them over the internet, but that's it.
You guys don't do in-store record signings and after-show meet and greets?
Hell no!
Oh wow, you really changed Rivers' persona there.
When I read that,
you changed to mine.
I can't read that in any other way.
I can see Rivers hell no.
Hell no. We reached maximum recording.
So I found a forum online from 2002 called forum.dvdtalk.com, and someone says on June 9th, 2002, they said, I just read an interview with Rivers Cuomo through the May issue of Guitar World magazine, and he says that his fans are quote-unquote all little bitches. In the interview, Rivers says that he wants an internet message board kind of a guy, just like all of us. And Rivers admitted in the interview that he had internet girlfriends that he met online. You see, I had not been a huge fan of Weezer for a long time, ever since their quote-unquote Blue album was released. But I'm now starting to lose my respect for Rivers. I still like Weezer as a band. I love their music myself, but for a very good reason, I don't like Rivers anymore. In this interview, he sounded like a total ass of himself. Please read the shocking interview here. Here's a couple examples of why Rivers sounded like a total ass of himself towards his fans. GW says, is there a typical Weezer fan? Can you characterize that person at all? Cuomo says, they're tough to characterize. I'm sorry, you should read this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're definitely Rivers, so read that.
They're tough to characterize because they're all sorts of different people. Probably what they have in common is that there are other people around them that also like Weezer. They feel like a minority and they care about us a lot. They probably encounter a lot of frustration in their lives because everyone else around them doesn't care about Weezer. So when they come to big arenas that are filled with people like them, they're stoked.
That's just an example, in my opinion, of him already being aware. Like, way back in 2002.
Like, when we read this, we're like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But people that were Weezer fans, like, they were like, man, Weezer hates us.
This next quote, just read the first paragraph. So the Guitar W, or Guitar Weekly, or whatever, says,
World.
Are there two factions of Weezer fans, the hostile and the adoring?
He says, no, they're one and the same. The ridiculous thing is that they're so angry with me, and they hate my songs so much, and yet they're all still there on the message boards talking about me every day, and they care so much about it. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe they see potential in us, and they're doing everything they can to bring that out.
And then he goes on to just nail online message boards. But the funny thing about this is this is an online message board that this guy is posting about, that he obviously cares enough to like everything he said is true in this guy's post.
It was the podcast before podcast.
Yeah, so then like some of the comments, this guy's an idiot. I hope those quote unquote little bitches read this and stop listening to his music. Rivers Cuomo's an idiot. I was a Weezer fan for a while. I loved the Blue album and bought Pinkerton and even the Green album the day it came out. However, then I started reading interviews. Normally, I don't let a musician's personality opinions get in the way of enjoying their music. However, with this guy, it's been impossible. He's an ass and an ugly human being. I didn't like giving my money to someone who's so openly and unjustly hostile towards his fans. Most bands would kill to have a fan base as loyal and dedicated as Weezer, but not Cuomo. But then other people get it. Yeah. This other guy's like, I think too much is being read into the interview. I have the issue of GW, and I don't think he came across as fan hostile to me at all. The comment about little bitches seems tongue-in-cheek, but I'm sure a lot of Weezer fans are little bitches, so it all works out. Like, that guy gets it.
That guy's my friend.
So it just goes, like, this other guy goes, just from the above quotes, I laughed. Like, so, like...
Yeah, like, there are people that get it.
If everyone wants to find this, just Google forum DVD talk about Weezer or Rivers hating his fans. It's truly, like, the comments just keep going, and it's hilarious, amazing. Man. But I love that you added, because Adam found that interview excerpt, and then I found this, and I'm so happy because it just speaks so into what this. I know we're going a little long here, but on this song, like space rock is. It's like, okay, like it's really when he starts writing about the fans, and then this forum was happening in 2002. Yeah. Like
it's like
and he knew about it. It's like Blue. Okay, we don't know we're doing anything as a band. You know, I'm gonna save that for the end.
Yeah,
we gotta move on. Slave. Remind me that though.
Okay.
But yeah, I did write this. Like, this interview is the first taste of Rivers on Twitter now, which is a giant troll.
Oh, yeah.
But Slave.
It's great. Slave. It's about another relationship?
Just for future reference, Adam, if I, like, say something, if I go, like, Slave, and then very obviously take a sip of my coffee, that is not a signal for you to also say the same thing that I just said and then take a sip of your coffee.
Fair enough, man.
Like, I went Slave and leaned back to take a drink, and then Adam literally goes Slave and then leaned back.
I was like, all right, I guess we're taking a break right now.
No, I was like, all right, like intro.
All right, let's get a little taste of this song because honestly, I can't.
You don't remember Slave?
I'm trying to. Think about how it goes.
Slave is so good.
Okay, yeah. It's just like,
oh yeah. And then it goes into these verses. Dude, this is so angsty, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like, I used to listen to this song. I have specific memories of listening to this song in middle school on the bus ride home with like I would always listen to headphones, and I would always sit in the very front row and just lean my head up against the window and listen to my music. Like I was not a part of the bus ride home culture.
Oh, yeah.
But I just have specific memories of listening to the song with my head against the window, just imagining that I was with some girl that didn't like me because I was in middle school or whatever, you know. I never got the whole... I didn't even get that this song was more about being in a toxic relationship and all that. I just applied it to, like, not being alone, when in reality, he's like, oh, I'm a slave to this toxic relationship.
Yeah.
That kind of speaks into how music is so subjective. Like, I made it...
You made it your own, even though you had no idea.
But yeah, man, I think this is a great song. This and Keep Fishing are definitely, like, the two that I like the most on this album. You're really blanking on Slave.
Yeah, I was like I don't know. It was one of those songs I didn't really think about much. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just say something. Like, you just sit there.
I had a hard time remembering what it was. Like I was like,
yeah.
There's some Weezer songs when I see the name of it, I'm like, I can't put a melody to it, but when I hear the first 2 seconds,
it's hard to think of those melodies.
Oh, yeah. The melody.
Like a mellow tea, like a chamomile tea. Have it a little night before you go to bed.
Some honey.
Alright, so Slave had a big impact on Adam.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I'm gonna like go back. I want a video, like an excerpt. If we have a YouTube channel, we should do clips like Joe Rogan does.
Just like a little.
But the clip will be me just be like Slave, and then you'd be like Slave. All right, fall together.
Fall together.
You want
very 80s metal band song. There's a couple on here on this album that are very like you could see people like with the long blonde, like just frizzy hair.
Like earlier when for Take Control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this did feel very classic rock to me. I almost feel like this song, because again, listen, like Take Control and some of these songs are like the 80s classic rock sound.
Yeah. Like
they're not going to be lauded as like, wow, this is innovative.
Revolution.
But it is Rivers and Weezer and old Scott Striner. Just we haven't even started yet, Scott. Shut up.
Calm down.
Just drink your course. So
Natty Light.
But I feel like this is like a version, like this is what the Green Album could have been. Because like it's not a particularly profound song, but it's like I think it's more earnest and like they're just having fun. Whereas Green, it was very like.
I was surprised to learn that it was Pat Wilson's favorite song of this album.
Dude, most bands are just very unaware of themselves. Like, well, maybe Pat Wilson is. Rivers isn't. But like, it's like, oh, my favorite song was like what? Like, your favorite song is Fall Together? Yeah,
I was like, I didn't think the drums were that dynamic.
I think this is a good album. But that's the thing, that maybe that's speaking of what I'm saying. Like, he's like, we're just having fun. Like, I have the most fun. A difference also that I'm thinking of is, like, right now is our relationship with these songs are so different than theirs because we have our own specific memories tied in. He might have very fun, specific memories tied to recording and writing this song.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that could be very much speaking into that. But
all right, let's go on to possibilities. I want to hear your best Billy voice.
Who are you talking about?
From Green Day.
Can you let the fans... I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. We both agree that Possibilities is a very Green Day song.
It is.
It's Weezer's version of a Green Day song.
Possibilities!
That was good. I like it.
I always like whenever you don't know the words to a Green Day song,
you just kind of
you don't need to know them. Like, welcome to paradise.
As long as you get that tone, you're good to go. You got every song. Like when you go to a Green Day concert, everybody's like moshing around.
I asked you to go to the Green Day concert. You said you never heard of them.
How could I think it's interesting that like their relationship with Green Day as well. It like
oh man,
like
it always comes up. It's like
album.
Like Rivers secretly just wants to be Billy Joe Armstrong,
yeah.
Which I think honestly, I mean, I don't know who's been more successful.
Yeah,
I think that Weezer has been more steadily successful, and Green Day has had American Idiot is more successful than anything.
I mean, Green Day does have a Broadway musical.
Yeah, I think overall, like Green Day has had more like highs, but like Green Day's also had way more lows.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like Weezer's been pretty steady.
Yeah, they're like this like.
Well, I like to do this. Let's play the game. I've not looked at this. Spotify monthly listeners game.
Ooh, let's do it.
Weezer and Green Day. Let's both say our guesses.
Ooh,
let's think of it first.
Okay.
Weezer, I'm gonna say 6 million.
6 million? I'm gonna say I'm gonna go a little less. I'll say 4.5 million.
All right, and then Green Day, I'm gonna say 8 million.
I'll say 7. Just to be.
All right, so you're just keeping it. All right.
Let's see what we got.
Could be way off. I don't know. Weezer is 7 million.
7 million.
And I said what? 6 million?
6 million.
And you said 4?
I said 4. I had to cut it.
All right.
Sorry,
so I would have won the prices right. Green Day. Oh, 13 million.
Dang.
Weezer or Green Day has twice as many monthly listeners on Spotify.
That's intense.
Their number one song here, the song I was singing earlier. Let's see if you can tell the difference. Maybe I can. If I get like really like not lazy editing this, I'll edit these together. But the song I was singing earlier was "Welcome to Paradise." You ready? Maybe I'll edit mine over this.
Yeah.
Welcome to paradise. Anyway, that was fun. I didn't expect it to go there.
But that's the beauty of Green Day's.
So Green Day's a lot more successful, but I also think that's because of playlists.
Yeah, playlists and
hits like Basket Case, American Idiot, like the stuff's like on like Wake Me Up When September Ends. So anyway, but like most people can't name. I bet you more people could name more Weezer songs than they could name Green Day songs.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know that for sure. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah. The
moral of the story is they have an interesting relationship with Green Day, and this song kind of sounds like Green Day. So Love Explosion is actually what I call it when I orgasm.
I was like, on the way here, I looked at it and I saw you write that. Like in real time, it was amazing.
Yeah, that would be an interesting experience. We have a Google Doc that we'll write notes on, and all I said about this song was "Love Explosion" is what I call it when I orgasm.
I saw that, and I literally I stopped what I was listening to, and I was like, that was oh my gosh.
Well, what did you think of this song?
Oh man, it like I like the Weezer-y feedback at the beginning. It's more of a
Weezer. It's a verb.
Just talking about how
I could just see like them in practice, and River's like, all right, we're gonna do this part and that part, and Scott's over there just boop bop beep boop boop, and then just being like, let's Weezer this up.
Yeah.
Let's do some Weezer-y feedback.
Let's get a little taste of that feedback.
Here comes the fan. So you know you've been podcasting too long. Sorry everyone. This is a very low budget studio.
Yeah,
and computer. Let's do a Kickstarter where people get a new computer for us to do this podcast.
Yeah,
because it works.
What year is this computer?
This is a 2011 MacBook Pro.
Nice.
13-inch. I mean, it gets the job done.
Yeah,
but the fan kicks on sometimes.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But Love Explosion, there's like that feedback. Just talking about partying with friends, or
It's like he's telling this girl like she cares a lot about what her friends think, and he's like, you don't have to care about what your friends think.
Dude, I never thought of you wrote that the chorus reminded you of Do the Locomotion.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, wait, play that part. I'm gonna let's
because I was like, after you said that, I was like, all right,
so
I'm
gonna come on. I like whenever they say that, I want to be like, do the locomotion.
Yeah, it's even. I feel like it has to be intentional. It's like, you know what I mean? I just went to Pinkerton. It's definitely intentional.
Yeah.
It's got to be. Oh, possibilities.
Sound about it.
Yeah. Come on, do the locomotion with me.
Like,
come on, do the locomotion. We gotta do a Green Day series. But the whole thing, we'll do the whole thing in one episode.
We'll just be like,
We'll talk like that.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't good. I gotta get off this bit. So
December. Are we moving?
Yeah, we're moving.
Moving on.
Always moving.
Moving along. All right, so December.
Yeah. He just leaned back. This is a podcast, Adam.
Oh man, it's got some nice Beach Boys-esque vocal background vocal.
There are some Beach Boys-esque background vocals in here. I feel like this is like I could see them closing a concert with this and just singing about, like, this song's about, like, love is the answer to everything, kind of like All You Need Is Love by the Beatles, and everyone's just, like, tipsy enough
to, like, sing along.
This is just ballady enough that everyone's going to get really emotional.
Oh, yeah.
All the lights will be up, and Rivers will be up there just hating his fans. I don't even respect Weezer. Like, us fans on these message boards got them to where they are, and if Rivers doesn't appreciate that, I don't appreciate Rivers.
They have their phones up, like...
I didn't even know that Living Without You existed.
Yeah, I didn't either.